Welcome to the Optimal Man channel, brothers. Let's go ahead and gather in and let's go ahead and dive deep into this story of a man who had enough and it cost the lives of 7 people. This is the dark side of what being an incel could be. Because on one hand, we have people like Skippy who go 47 years being a virgin and still a cool guy. And then on the other hand, we have people who have had enough, men who have had enough, and instead of focusing on improving themselves and doing something about their inadequacies, they take it out on the world. Okay? So for those of you who don't know, this is the story of a man named, I don't even want to say his name because he probably did all this to get people to say his name. I'm not even going to say his name. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. These are the journals of him before he deleted 7 people and then deleted himself.
This is a reading of Elliot Rodger's diaries. They were recovered by the police and recently released under an access to information request. Elliot Rodger wrote 2 diaries, and they cover his life between 2010 and 2014. He tore some parts out of them, but they're mostly intact. If you want to read them yourself, I've put links in the description. Lastly, since YouTube seems to have a hard time telling the difference between things that glorify Elliot Rodger and things that don't, I'm going to give you a short disclaimer before we begin. This video is for educational purposes to help people understand why Elliot Rodger was the way that he was, so that we can help prevent other young men from ending up like him, and is in no way an endorsement of his beliefs or actions. Elliot Rodger was a bad person who killed innocent people. Don't be like Elliot Rodger.
Also, yes, YouTube, this is for educational purposes. Here on the Optimal Man channel, all we're doing is trying to educate the people so that guys who are like this can improve. Because I'm sure if this guy had some guidance in his life, if he probably stumbled upon the Optimal Man channel and he tuned in every single day since I post every day, he probably wouldn't have done this. He probably just needed some guidance letting him know where he needed to improve, what he needed to change. But instead, this is why I post every single day. Because there's guys out there who don't have that guidance. They feel lonely, they feel depressed, they feel like they can't get a woman, they feel like the world is against them, and they commit terrible acts, such as the one that we're going to dive into today.
Also, his diaries contain descriptions of violence and misogynistic statements, so if that's something you don't want to see, don't watch this. Okay, let's begin. This journal is merely a collection of my notes and thoughts. Elliot Rodger. Writing practice and personal notes. April 5th, 2010. I would rather be oppressed by a powerful but fair government than be oppressed by an unfair society protected by a weak democratic government. April 21st, 2010. What awkward, perplexing times these are. My 19th birthday approaches and I am still stuck and confused. My 19th birthday. I can hardly believe it. Just 14 years ago, I arrived in the United States as a carefree child, full of life and happiness. Just 9 years ago, I graduated from 5th grade with smiles and laughter. What went wrong? What went wrong? I slipped and fell off the right path of life onto one of agonizing darkness. Or maybe I was shoved. I never imagined my life would turn into one of such hopelessness. When I was a little child, I was at peace, ignorant of what would befall me. I often look back on those times with longing these days. Sometimes I wish I could start over. But even so, could I really right my wrongs and avoid the cruelty of society? Or would the same things happen, and would I face the same bleak alienation and loneliness? I can remember the days of my early childhood better than most others, especially the day I arrived in the United States of America. I remember the big plane we rode in, the Virgin Atlantic, I believe, though I didn't really care at that age. I would go to the window at the back and look down upon the beautiful white clouds covering the world with wonder. I imagined myself running across them as if they were a landscape. At certain points I could faintly see the landscape beneath, hundreds of squares of farms and fields. The plane ride was very long, but I was too excited to fall asleep. When we landed, I could see all the lights of LA out the window, which amazed me. I got to catch up on my sleep on the ride home. As we got into the blue Jeep my father rented, I was very tired and groggy from the journey, but I can remember that precise moment so vividly to this day. The image I envisioned from the back seat of the Jeep as it pulled out of the airport parking lot is still fresh in my mind, the first step of my life in the US. April 23rd, 2010. All is quiet, but the horrible emotions roiling inside me clash, and I erupt like a great storm. Like a storm damages land and forest, the storm of fury racks me with pain. And yet, with the power of my superior mind, I quell the storm with dexterous focus. The storm of fury eases and is banished back down to the core of my heart. The storm is gone, but the scar remains, as they always do. April 25th, 2010. The reality of human barbarism has been haunting me for several years now. The process of discovering these terrible truths has been slow and grueling, But now, as I've gathered much insight and knowledge through study and observation, I have come to understand humanity's current state and my place in the world. Now is the time to find a way to mend these problems with human nature. June 19th, 2010. Yesterday I drove to Metro Hair Salon to get my hair cut. I had an appointment with well as many of the characters. One of these characters is similar in almost all ways to myself. June 19th, 2010. Summer is here and the temperature is scaldingly hot today. I cannot even open my window because the heat would permeate into my room. I must be wary every time I go outdoors, for the hot sun would surely affect my skin in an unpleasant way. Summer. My 19th summer. My birthday is approximately 1 month away. This year has gone by too fast, and each year seems to be passing faster and faster, I fear. Out of the 19 years that I've lived on this world, 5 have been a torment full of unfulfilled desires. I remember the start of this dreadful period of my life all too well. I never used to get along with girls very well, even as a child. They were always cold and bitchy towards me, and not one ever befriended me.
And for those of you who have never heard of this guy went on YouTube and documented everything. He had a manifesto where he documented exactly what he was going to do, the horrors that he was going to carry out. And the guy wasn't even a bad looking dude. Like, no, did he? But the guy wasn't even a bad looking dude. He was just weird. He was just weird, and he didn't know how to talk to women. Instead of working on that, instead of seeking the knowledge, instead of trying to find someone to teach him how to improve in that area, he said, to hell with this. I'm tired of this shit. And that's the problem, right? And I know there's going to be some weird guys in the comments who think they're all edgy because they're going to be like, I've had them do it before, right? I've done a video on something like this and they were like, oh, respect to him or whatever, right? You're not edgy. You're not cool, okay? You're a weirdo. But listen, if you have this problem in your life, understand that it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't matter what you do in life. Whether you're going on a business venture or you're trying to talk to women and you don't know how to do it, you never quit. Don't ever quit. Don't ever accept defeat. Only take temporary failures as a lesson and understand that there's a lesson in every single failure. Every single time there's something that you could have done better, because if someone out there is doing it, that means that you can do it too, because you're no different than them. You just have to have self-belief and believe in yourself and understand that if someone out there is doing it, you can also do it. You just have to figure out how they learned to be where they're at. Okay, so never give up, guys.
Before I hit puberty, though, that wasn't much of a problem. But then the day came. The day my manhood would stir at the sight of a hot girl. The day I first started touching myself late at night while fantasizing about making love. When all these changes started occurring, I was completely at a loss. I started to want girls. I started to yearn for companionship. I knew that couldn't be, though. I realized I could never be good enough for them. How heartbreaking that was. I would see young couples my age kissing and fondling each other in public. Such a lovely display of affection. And I would feel confused, then sad, and angry at the fact that I could never have such pleasure. I could never have such beautiful, heavenly pleasure, because I just didn't measure up to other boys my age. I was the weakling.
This is the mindset of a hater, of someone who envies. Instead of understanding, I can achieve that too. Why would I be mad? Even if I'm not there right now, right? Like I see people who are successful on a much higher financial level than I am. And I'm like, I don't get mad. I don't envy them like some people do. Some guys sit around, they envy on you just because you're doing a little better than them. Instead of understanding, I can be there too. Why would I be mad? Why would I be envious? So it's the same thing with this. Some guys see guys out there and they say, oh, look at him. He's out there banging bitches. Oh, I'm going to hate on him. No, brother. Listen, there was a point in my life where I didn't know how to talk to women, and all I had to do was seek the knowledge, figure out how can I improve, start implementing it, start applying it into my life every single day, taking action until one point it doesn't become an issue no more. It's not an issue. At some point in your life, it doesn't become an issue once you've put in the work. It's not a problem for me at all. I can get a woman in, if I lost a woman, I can get another one like that. Why? Because of the mindset that I have, because I understand that I have the knowledge and all I have to do is just apply it. So guys, I wasn't born this way. And the reason why I have this channel and I post every single day is to teach you guys. So don't just take my videos lightly. Don't just take my videos for granted, and tune in, watch, and actually apply the things that I teach you guys, because I'm giving you guys all the information that I had to learn on my own. And I promise you, If you start to apply all the information that I give you guys every single day, day in and day out, you will see results. And if you don't, then there's probably a more specific issue. So you just DM me on Instagram at Optimal Man Coaching and we'll figure that out. But just based on my videos, if you take all the information and you apply it, I promise you, you will see results.
The little runt, the weird kid. Boys always made fun of me and girls would tease me. That hurt the most. I felt so out of place, so lost, separate from the rest of humanity. I hid in a virtual world and tried hard to forget about it, but the pain was always there. And that was only the beginning. Such a lonely 5 years it has been, and I've grown ever more bitter and resentful. June 24th, 2010. I've started attending this summer history course at Moore Park College. Today is my third day, in fact. So far, I am not liking it one bit. It's been the cause of my increasing emotional distress for the last 3 days. Not like that's anything new. Pain has been my life for the past few years. But what I've seen at this college has only fanned the flames. Couples or lovers have always angered me when I spot them in public. But that is only once in a while, like when I go to the mall occasionally. At this college, though, I see them everywhere. And when I walk past them and look at them, they seem to notice my envy and smile at me. It probably gives them pleasure, the foul beasts. It is so hurtful. There is this one couple in particular that sits a few desks away from me.
See, this is the problem with him. This is the problem. He was just weird. The envious beast, like the beast of the like, bro, relax. The only way that you're gonna go out there and get some women is to be someone who people don't see as a creep. If you can't get women, it's because you don't make them comfortable. And if you talk like this, these beasts with such rage and the horror, like, bro, is that how you act around women? No wonder you're not getting no ass. There's your problem. Fix that. Work on that. If you have a problem in your life, figure out the root cause. Figure out what is this stemming from. Because if you're not seeing results, it's not just because you're doomed and the world is over and you could just never achieve it. There's something tied to that, and you have to figure out what it is so that then you can go back, work on that, and then you can start to see results.
Me in my history class. The girl is the hottest girl in the class, with brown hair and a perfect body. The boy, of course, is a tall, muscular jock with a buzz cut. They sit together every time, always talking and smiling at each other. I frequently glare at them with raw envy, and I think they took note of it too. They fill me with such rage, it even distracts me from the lecture at times. Why can't I beat that man? Why does he deserve it more than me? Why do I always have to stand at the side, lonely, watching other humans enjoy each other's love and affection? I don't even feel like a man because of my lowly position. I don't even feel human. Well, I've had enough of writing about this topic for today. I feel I'll be writing much more about this in the future, the more I attend this damnable class. I heard the sounds of voices and shouts of revelry coming from the pool outside. I walked to the window and looked down. There I saw about 20 college-aged men and women having a pool party. There were about 15 males and 5 females. Quite an unbalanced ratio, in my opinion. There should be more females than males. Of course, all the males were the frisky, wild, confident type. I saw a few black men among them. I thought one of the girls was quite pretty. She had blonde hair and lovely tanned legs. Only a few times have I seen groups of young people partying at my apartment pool, and in all those times I became very enraged and jealous. I just checked the winning numbers for the Mega Millions lottery, and no luck. Not even one number matched. Well, I have my Super Lotto ticket for tomorrow. I'll keep my fingers crossed for that. I feel so terribly depressed right now. By my eminence, it's so painful. Too painful. I can barely write properly. I've just been reading articles on the internet about becoming a writer. All these articles just put me down. They're full of negative defeatists talking about how hard it is to even make a living as a writer. And everyone says that thousands of writers struggle to even get their books published. Only 1 in a million would get rich from writing a story. No, this is making me feel so hopeless. I have a brilliant story to write, but what if so many others have also tried to sell their brilliant stories and failed? How can I get rich from writing my story over so many unsuccessful authors who have so much more writing experience than me? This is a fucking nightmare. This is hell. July 3rd, 2010.
Just a defeatist attitude. Everything is a defeatist attitude. Just because there's some unsuccessful authors out there doesn't mean that he couldn't have been a successful author. He could have wrote about this in a book. He could have wrote a book about his experience being an incel for so long and how he felt about it and how it really caused him pain in his life and how he seeked a way to overcome it, and then he actually overcame that. Like, that book probably would have been a bestseller. A man who was a virgin for this long. Understand that your problems aren't meant to defeat you. You are only defeated if you quit. Your problems are meant to be a part of your story, a part of your hero's journey. As you go along the way, you're going to have problems, and you have to overcome them in order to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor and inspire others. Because all those unsuccessful authors, they might have not resonated with other people. The whole point of Building a successful YouTube channel or making a successful book is to resonate with other people. So you know how many men out there would have resonated with this message, that he was an incel and he felt rage and then he seeked a way to overcome it and he found a way, he worked on it, and then he finally overcame it. That would have inspired so many incels. All the incels would have bought that book. He probably would have been a successful author. But when you have a defeatist mindset to where you say, oh, the world is against me, this is hell, this is a nightmare, then guess what? You're going to quit and you're not going to get rewarded. Because you only get rewarded if you do not quit. A winner never quits and a quitter never wins. So understand that, guys. Understand that every single problem you have in your life, you're supposed to have that problem in your way in order to overcome that obstacle and be able to see the fruits of your labor. Everything that I am today, guess what? It's been problems that I did not decide to quit on. I decided to continue going. And now I can inspire other men because at one point in my life, I didn't have the confidence that I had today. But I didn't have a defeatist mindset about it. I understood that all I needed was more knowledge. So I seek the knowledge. I read books. I seek the knowledge in any way that I could. I listened to audiobooks so that I can overcome these problems. At one point in my life, I wasn't a young, sexy Puerto Rican man, but guess what? I worked on that shit. I figured it out. So every single problem in my life has been what has built me today because I overcame it. I didn't quit. I wasn't defeated by it. And I will never be defeated by anything in life. So any problem that I'm facing right now, it's simply just another step to the next level. Any problem that I'm having right now is just a next step to the next level. So understand that. And any problem that you're having, are you fat? Well, that's a problem that's been given to you by God for you to overcome that and inspire others. Are you broke? That's a problem that's been given to you for you to overcome that and inspire others. If you're someone who's not good with women and you're unconfident, that's a problem that's been given to you for you to overcome and inspire others. That's what you got to do.
This past week has been a very tough week emotionally. A few days ago, I went to visit my mother and sister, who were staying at my mother's friend's house for a night. I went there for a change of scenery to try and ease the depression and anguish I was feeling beforehand over certain things I read about people on Facebook. The house is right on the beach in Malibu, and it's very beautiful, but it gives me an ominous feeling as well. I do like it there very much. The area is very calm, and the view of the ocean is spectacular. The thing is, though, is that it reminds me of a bitter experience I had back in November 2009, more than half a year ago. I can remember it vividly. I was at that house, and an old friend, who is no longer my friend, named Philip, picked me up from there to hang out. He had that wretched scoundrel Addison with him. Philip was driving Addison around all the time, being his little pony. That's what Philip is, a little pony. A sad, pathetic person without any pride or ego, who just lets others step all over him and he doesn't care. So that day, Addison was going to a party with Malibu high school kids, horrible people, and Philip was to drop him off. I was in the car with that foul prick as Philip drove him to the store to buy alcohol for his precious party, and then to the party itself. Addison Altendorf truly is a depraved, nasty creature. As he got out of the car to go, he gloats at me and calls me a loser. He didn't even have the decency to invite me and Philip to go with him. Philip, of course, didn't give a shit, but I will never forget what happened that day. How dare Addison slight me so? I was enraged for the rest of that night, as I recall. I realized that there was very little hope for me to be able to fit in with all the hot people who lived such happy lives. They would all think of me as a loser, such foul, horrible people they are. How can people who live in such heaven be so cruel? That night, I was so distraught that I had my first cigarette, and it wouldn't be my last. I didn't care what happened to my lungs. I felt so worthless and unwanted. When Philip brought me back at that house, I walked down to the beach, looked out to the dark waves and starry sky, and contemplated my place in the world. When I was there a few days ago, I also looked out to the horizon in ominous brooding. The rest of this week, I've just been driving to this college class and back. I would just go into the class, sit in an uncomfortable chair for 2 hours, and listen to this lecture. Then I would leave and go home. While in the class, I would try not to pay attention to this couple that sits a few desks away from me. Dismal days indeed. I've really been trying to push myself to work on my epic story, but it's damn hard to find the incentive, especially after reading all those dreadful articles on the internet.
Like if all these people bullied you and you felt so much pain from that, that should have been your motivator. Because success is the greatest revenge. If somebody talks shit about you, if you have homeboys that were so-called your homeboys and they talk shit about you, the best revenge is to succeed. If you have a woman who cheated on you, the best success is to succeed. That's the best revenge. It's not to go out there and delete people. That's not the best revenge. If this man was ridiculed and everyone was calling him a loser, everyone was saying he was a weirdo, he should have used that. That pain is supposed to be fuel as motivation for you to get better. Because what's better? Going out there and deleting a couple people, or using that pain and saying, fuck these people. You know what? I'm going to become the best version of myself, and they will never be able to say some shit like that about me again. So guess what? You take that pain, you use it, you begin working, it creates that snowball effect, and then eventually you live the life of your dreams. He could have been fucking 20 bitches in one day because he worked on himself and he became the man that he wanted to be. And guess what? What are y'all gonna say now? What do y'all have to say? Y'all don't got to say shit now, right? Right? Because they can't. He put in the work. So guys, all that pain that's been given to you, it's supposed to be a source of motivation and fuel.
July 7th, 2010. I hate it when I think about embarrassing moments in my past because of my weird personality, and whenever I do or say something embarrassing, it bothers me forever after. A lot of them involve how I act around girls in the rare moments when I'm actually in their vicinity. When I think about such moments, I always tense up, and it feels like it's poking at my mind. The only way to stop it is to forget about it, but it always comes back. I just thought of an embarrassing moment a few minutes ago, and it was very irritating. Whole year of dedication to learn the skills to write even the first draft of a novel. So for now, I'll just write the synopsis, edit it till it's perfect, and then I'll see where that goes. Earlier this year, I was seriously considering hiring an escort or prostitute to help me with my sexual desires. I do have very strong sexual desires, which put me in agony instead of harmony, because I can never satisfy such desires. Philip was the one who suggested I hire a prostitute. That insolent little...
Yeah, he can't satisfy because he said the very rare occasion that I get to spend time with some women. Listen, if you don't ever spend time with women because you're socially awkward and you're weird, the only answer to that is to work on yourself, become in better shape, and then go out there and talk to more women. If you're rarely ever around women, guess what? There's women everywhere. Every single day you walk outside, there's new women every single day. If you go out to new places, there's always going to be new women that you find attractive. And guess what? You talk to those women. Think about that in a year. Think about in a year if you do something over and over and over and over and over and over again. And every single time you focus on improving one little thing that you could have done better the last time. Think about that compounding effect. If today I decided to work on, let's just say, a skateboard trick, right? Today, I would fucking suck. Why? Because, like he said, I would rarely be doing it. I'd rarely ever expose myself to that one thing, so I would fucking suck at it. But guess what? Give me 365 days to where I do that trick over and over and over and over again. And every single time I fail the trick, I think about what could I have done better? What could I have done better to make sure I land that fucking trick next time? And then I do it again. Eventually, I actually land the trick. So now I understand how to land the trick. And once I understand how to land the trick, now I just have to keep doing that over and over and over again. And eventually, I master it. So think about that when you guys are unconfident like this guy approaching women. If you do it every single day for 365 days, you get out of your head, you stop putting yourself in your own way and blocking yourself, blocking your blessings, then guess what? That's all it takes is for you to go out there. You're going to suck at first. The same example that I gave of the skateboarding trick. At first, you're going to suck. You're going to be shaking. You're going to be shivering. Oh my goodness, a woman. Oh fuck, a woman. Oh, my balls are in my stomach. I'm sweating. Like, you're going to suck. It's whatever. Do you want it or not? If you do, go out there and do it, even if you fucking suck. And then eventually you do it enough, and one day you'll actually get some success. And once you get some success, you might not have mastered it yet, but now you know how to do it. Now all you got to do is replicate that over and over and over and over and over again, and then eventually you'll have mastered the skill. You could go from a motherfucker who's super socially awkward to a fucking Casanova motherfucker. Guess what? At some point in my life, my social skills weren't up to par, and I probably wasn't making the women around me too comfortable. Why? Because I didn't have the best social skills. I didn't expose myself to talking to many people. But at this point in my life, I can talk to any woman and make her comfortable like this. Why? Because I've worked on it. At one point in my life, I sucked, and then I tried, and I figured out, okay, I just saw how I was successful this one time. And then you replicate that over and over, and then you have the finished result, guys. Come on.
I hate it when people view me as such a loser and suggest that I hire a whore. I hate it. They pity me, that's why. They fucking pity me. That is the sickening truth. After months of consideration, I came to realize that if I do hire a prostitute to take my virginity, I will be hurt forever, because I will know that she will only be pleasuring me because I'm paying her for the service. It is a prostitute's job, and she will pleasure any client. A prostitute wouldn't want to fuck me, she will just see me as one of her many duties of her job. But that is the only way I will ever be able to have sex, isn't it? Because no real girl will ever want to have sex with me and my small dick. The whole pleasure of sex would be a girl's desire for me. It would make me feel so special.
See, if this man would have gotten the FitX Fearless course, the Jelk Maxers, the Jelk Maxers handbook, maybe he wouldn't have had a problem with a small dick, right? Because you can go from a 2-incher to a fucking anaconda dick with the Jelk Maxing course. I'm just fucking with you guys. But listen, I did post a video on my Patreon. If you have a small wee-wee, if you're not packing, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can grow your Johnson 12 inches because it's not true. That would be a fucking lie. All you can do is Jelk and fucking penis pump. But guess what? That's not going to change shit, really. Might give you a little more size. Who knows, right? But I gave you 13 ways that you can improve your sex life. That even if you don't have a small Johnson, even if you suffer from the long Johnson disease like myself, guess what? 13 ways that you can improve your sex life, because it's not about what you can't control. Your size, you can't control that. But there's other things that you can control. And I gave you guys 13 on my Patreon exclusive video. Go check it out. Go join the membership. But understand that this life is not about what you can't control. It's about what you can control. If you have a super big nose, you can't control that. What can you control? That's the mindset that you got to have in order to start seeing success.
But that is something I cannot buy from a whore and never have. I want a beautiful girl to love me, to hold me close, to want me in her. I want her to want me more than any other person in the world. I would feel so special. It would be so heavenly. Oh, how I wish for that, for love, for bliss. Other men out there have that, and I don't. It's true, I've seen it. The world is not fair. July 21st, 2010. Today was a weird day. I went to visit Planet Cyber for the first time in a long while. I checked up on my membership account and looked around the place. It's been changed around a bit, but it still feels the same. It has been such a long time since I used to go there every day to play video games, back when I was 12 years old. That period was the last time I felt happiness in my life. I can remember the friends I used to hang out with there. Charlie, John Joe, Elijah, and the games I played, such as Battlefield, Diablo 2, and Warcraft 3. Those games...
And by the way, really quick, let me give a quick shout out to the guy who made this video, because I don't want to, take his credit. Zephyr, Zephyr the 7th. Zephyr the 7th, Elliot Rogers Journals, a reading, okay? Because I just realized this video is fucking 2 hours long, and this man sat here and talked for 2 hours and 25 minutes. So you got to give the man his credit. This man worked for it, okay? And like I'm doing here, I'm giving you guys daily content. So feel free, if you support me, to drop a like. It helps me out a lot. Boosts the engagement, gets the videos out to more people, and helps me get the message out to more guys, because so many guys need this message. If this guy right here had this message, he probably wouldn't have done what he did. So it is our duty to get this message out to as many guys as we can who do not have that proper guidance in their life, who did not grow up with a masculine figure, with a father in their life. They need this message. And that's why I'm so adamant about posting every day and not quitting. Even if I fucking went months with only like 2 viewers, months with 0 views, with 0 likes. But I am passionate about the message, because I know there's men out there who need it. And I don't care how fucking long it takes. I don't care if it takes me 10 years to get the message out to as many people as possible. I will continue to post every day, because it is my duty, because I know that this can change someone's life. So dropping a like, leaving a comment, it helps me out, and I promise you it'll get the message out there to some guy who has never heard of this.
This is what led me to start playing World of Warcraft, which became my life for much of my teenage years, sadly. When I went to Planet Cyber today, I felt very nostalgic. July 23rd, 2010. My last day as an 18-year-old is today. I should do something to make this day memorable. Perhaps I'll go for a walk at Serenia Park or at the hill near my home. I'll be doing a lot of hard thinking today about the tough year that's just gone by. It's been a very emotional year, just like the one before it. These were years of brooding over my place in the world, great turning points in my life, years of sadness and pain and isolation. Yet here I am. I have endured all that hell while others are in heaven. No matter what my place in the world is, no matter what I am a strong creature now. I'm about to go to bed now. When I wake up tomorrow morning, I will officially be 19 years old. A sad thought. Hopefully my sleep won't be troubled by my upset mood. August 1st, 2010. A week has passed since my 19th birthday. My first week as a 19-year-old has been a horrible, sad week. Oh, a sad, sad week. All my horrible insecurities, my dismal circumstances, my lowly position in life, my envy, all that and more I've had to face this past. I ask myself every day, an even more meaningful question. Will I ever find love? A soulmate? The beautiful girl of my dreams who I can make sweet, sweet love to and share my life with? My heart and soul, my entire being cries out for such desires every day, every second of every day. I think about those who do have it. Oh, I can only imagine the heaven they must be in, pleasure beyond comprehension. It seems impossible for me to fulfill my dreams. Is there a possible future of happiness for me, in which I will find a lover? Do I dare hope? January 6th, 2011. Over the last several months, I've been playing a lot of the dreaded game World of Warcraft. I went back to playing it over the summer, at the same time that I quit that job. Back to playing a game that took up so much time during my early and middle teenage years. Back to hiding in a virtual world because I was too frustrated with reality. Before I started playing it again in the summer, I had spent more than a year without it. In that year, though, nothing had changed. I had remained a loner after I quit the first time.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. Understand that. How do you expect for your dating life to change when all you do is immerse yourself in a virtual world of playing video games? It's not the world that hates you. The world is not just going to come at your door and give you everything that you want. You have to actually go out there and work for what you want. So if you want better results with women, it's not the world. The world doesn't hate you. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you hate that shit and you feel like you deserve more, it's not the world that hates you that is putting you in that position. You're in charge of your results, and the reason why it's happening to you is because of you. So you need to take a long look in the mirror and understand that there's work to do. So this man should not have been in the fucking house playing World of Warcraft or whatever the fuck he was doing. He should have said, you know what? I see a problem in my life. I need to improve this. I'm going to be outside of the house every single day. I'm going to talk to more women. Because clearly it's a problem that's been bothering me for 19 years. So I'm going to fucking do something about it. Instead of sitting here and having the victim mentality and thinking that the world just fucking hates me. The world hates me. Oh my goodness. Look at these Chads. Look at them having fun. They're in heaven. Meanwhile, I'm in hell. It's just the world. It's not the world. It's you. The world is not a window. It is a mirror. It reflects what you are. It reflects the work that you've done. So if you're seeing bad results, look in the mirror. It's your fault.
Because of this, I figured I had nothing to lose if I started playing again. I've been playing it ever since, up till now. I am glad that I've just recently quit, a second time. I was wrong to think that I had nothing to lose in playing it. It takes up so much time, valuable time, and commitment. And for what? A false sense of empowerment. A fake reality that drew me even farther from the real world. Now that I've quit, again, I can use all the time and energy I spent on my fictional World of Warcraft character to improve my real-life character. Me. This game will weaken me no longer. Whatever may become of me in this cruel world, whether I find my heart's desire or not, whether I lead a happy life of love or a dreaded life of hate, I will be worth something in this world. January 15th, 2011. In the past few months, I've wasted a lot of time, mainly by playing video games to try and make myself forget about my troubles. I'm going to apply that time to improve myself as much as possible. I'm going to do something productive each day from now on. If I don't turn 20 for another 6.5 months, there is still hope for me. I must believe it. January 17th, 2011. I am extremely envious of teenagers who have sex lives. Not only that, but I am utterly bewildered by the unfairness of it all. It is very shocking and it is very fucked up. Here I am, almost 20 years old and still a virgin. Sex is on my mind every day, and yet I've never even kissed a girl. Other teenage males who are younger than me already have sex lives. I know, I've read all about it online. They talk about sex as if it's part of everyday life. It is for them. For me, it's a step into heaven. I crave for it with all my being, and I've never had it. I've never even had a taste of it. Why do other males get to experience this ultimate pleasure of life and I don't? Why can't I be them? January 19th, 2011. I've just started my spring semester at Moore Park College. The previous fall semester was uneventful, just like the summer. Nothing happened, nothing changed in my life, and I didn't learn all that much. My mother and my grandmother have agreed to pay me some money to support myself so long as I attend this community college. Therefore, I don't need to get a job as of right now. So far, that seems like the only benefit I'm getting from attending Moore Park. This is the second week of my new semester. Right now, I'm sitting alone at a quiet table near the outskirts of the college. The view, I must say, is very beautiful, looking out over the hilly region of Thousand Oaks. That's the only good thing I can say about it.
Give me 1 second. This is my regularly scheduled moment where I gotta go get a drink, and give me like 3 seconds, okay? Keep watching the video. I'm gonna let it play, but I'll be right back.
Coming here has, in a way, added to my feelings of worthlessness that affect me every day. I'm a nobody here. Nothing. Invisible. Everyone else here, from what I've observed, at least has some friends. I've seen many couples that always make me quiver with envy. I am always all alone. No one here has ever spoken a word to me. Oh, with the exception of one person asking to borrow a pencil last semester. That's all people see me as, an object they can use, not a human being. Nevertheless, I let him borrow that pencil because I was trying to be nice. I always try to be nice, despite the way society treats me. I'm a nice and generous person, and I never get any reward. My break is almost over. My next class is starting soon, which is psychology. I'm going to sit in that class, listen to the lecture, and then drive home. An exact replica of every day I've spent at this college. Just got back home from class. Today was a horrible day. In my history class, I couldn't help admiring this attractive girl sitting in front of me. She was very hot. Then at one moment, she looked over her shoulder and caught me checking her out. She then looked at me with utter indignation. She was indignant at the prospect of me finding her attractive, as if I'm some kind of lesser creature who isn't worthy of even looking at her. It seems this is how all females view me. I don't deserve this hostility and rejection from humanity. Why can't I fit in with humanity? Am I not human? My whole existence seems like a joke, a mock.
See, it's not the world. It's not the world that just looks at you as some weird creature. You have taken actions in your life that have made you a weird motherfucker. You've taken actions consistently that have made you into this weird guy. It's not the world that hates you, it's your actions. If you would have taken different actions towards becoming the smoothest motherfucker on earth, like myself, shit, what can I say? Understand that the results would be a lot different. The results would be so much more different because of you. It's a reflection of you. So it's not the world that hates you, it's you. Like if you're someone who is out of shape, you're fat, you're unconfident, you're socially awkward, you smell like shit, you don't know how to dress, you go out into the world and everyone looks at you with disgust. Everyone looks at you like, who the fuck is this guy? You try to talk to them. Hey, excuse me? They're like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, don't talk to me. It's not their fault. You haven't put in the work. If you're fat, start changing those habits. Get in shape. If you're socially awkward, start practicing your social skills. You become a master at socializing. If you're unconfident, you work on your confidence until you get it at a good level. If you smell like shit, you take a shower, you bathe, you wash your fucking ass, you put on some deodorant, you put on some cologne, good to go. Understand that. It's that simple. And you will start seeing results the moment that you look in the mirror and understand that it's your fault.
Mockery of life. There are so many attractive girls in my school. It's unbelievable. I wish I could have a chance with one of them, but no girl has ever noticed me. I don't want to think about the dreaded fact that other men have possibly made love to those girls. How much I envy the men who had that opportunity. Okay, I'm getting too upset right now. I really shouldn't be focusing on this problem. It's only day 19 of the new year, and I'm counting down the days until my 20th birthday. I still have around 200 days left as a teenager. I should focus on improving myself and try to find a way to success, quickly. I'm panicking right now. I'm scared that I'm doomed to forever be a virgin with no love in my life. I am so scared. If I can't lose my virginity in the next 200 days, then it's hopeless. I just need to try. I must exert myself as much as I can. Yes. If I go out of my mother's apartment every single day for hours...
Man, shout out to Skippy. This man has been a virgin for that long, and he still has a good attitude. He still has a positive, upbeat attitude, even though he's dealing with problems on his own. Even though when he's alone, he probably has moments where he just feels like the world's against him. But he hasn't given up. He hasn't taken some heinous actions like this, and he actually has a positive attitude. And I'm sure that Skippy could definitely change. If Skippy were to have the proper guidance and he actually took action and applied the advice that was given to him, he would have results. So shout out to Skippy, man. Skippy, I would love to have you on this channel if you ever see this video, okay?
Hours, whether it's the bookstore or college or the mall, maybe, just maybe, I'll find a girlfriend who will love me for who I am. I really don't know. I'm on the verge of breakdown right now. I must do something, though. How the hell do all those high schoolers manage to do it? I don't understand. I still have a bit of time. It's not too late, is it? There's still hope for me, isn't there? Alright, I'm going to start pushing myself from tomorrow onwards. Tomorrow I'm going to leave the house and not come back until nighttime. I'm also going to think hard every day about ways to become successful. What about that story I was planning to write? Perhaps that is my way to success. I stopped working on that last summer, and I think it's time to resume it. I know I can do this. I must believe I can. Positive thinking.
And it seems like, he wanted to improve. But the problem is, he quit. And you might say, no, he didn't quit. No, he quit. He deleted himself and he deleted 7 people. That is the result of someone who quit. The result of someone who quit is not getting what they wanted. That is the result of anybody who quits. The result of someone who doesn't quit is getting the exact result that they wanted. If you're out of shape and you know that you need to diet for probably 90 days or maybe even 60 days, depending on where you're at. If you are someone who quits, even though you know 60 days, if you didn't quit, you'd get the result you want. If you go, okay, I'm gonna diet, and 10 days in you quit, what is the result? The result is not getting what you want. If you want to improve with women, you want to get out there and learn how to talk to women, if you get rejected 5 times and you quit, knowing that you shouldn't have stopped there, the result is going to be a lifetime of getting what you didn't want. Meanwhile, someone like myself who never fucking quits, guess what? I'm always going to get exactly what I want. Everything I want out of life, I'm going to get. Every single thing. Why? Because I don't quit. And that's the mindset that I'm trying to instill into you guys. Because someone who doesn't quit, out of shape. Okay, I need a diet. Okay, 30 days, still not seeing that many results. 60 days, I thought it was going to be 60 days. Fuck it, let me keep going. 90 days, I'm close. I didn't think it was going to take this long. Let's keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. He doesn't fucking quit. He's persistent, he's consistent. And eventually what happens? He looks down and he's like, damn, I'm exactly where I wanted to be. Because that's how the world works. You're only rewarded if you don't quit and you are persistent.
Positive thing. January 20th, 2011. My relationship with my father has greatly improved lately. Over the past year, we've had many arguments and disagreements, mostly having to do with my stepmother, Sumaya. When my grandma Jinx came from England to visit in October, we all sat down and talked things through. I'm glad that happened, for we resolved many issues and agreed to start again. I'm still very disappointed with him, though. I think he is a despicable father who doesn't care at all about the problems I'm facing in life. I'm going to overlook this, though, because nothing I do or say will change it. He is who he is. I enjoy being on speaking terms with him again and being part of his family again. I've been going to my father's house for dinner often in the past couple months. I especially like seeing my 5-year-old little half-brother Jazz. It makes me feel good about myself. The boy really looks up to me. This is the most important period of my life. I have the power to change my life for the better. I must believe that my desires will come true. I will believe it. I have just started reading a shockingly magnificent book called The Secret. I am so emotionally touched by this book. I almost cried with joy and renewed hope. The book teaches me that I can have all the things I want from life by thinking.
Reading self-development books, he was on the right track. If he simply just wouldn't have quit, he would have got where he wanted to be. This is the right track. He's already thinking of where he wants to be. He's reading the books to improve his mindset. He's actually trying to take action. But instead, he gets mad at the world and he gives up.
Thinking positively and applying the law of attraction. I'm a skeptic person, but I am so desperate for love and joy and happiness and sex that I'm going to believe everything this book has to teach, and I'm going to apply it to the fullest. I'm only a couple chapters into this life-changing book, and I'm already feeling so hopeful. I can't wait to read more of it. January 21st, 2011. I'm starting to work on thinking and feeling positive about myself. If I stop feeling worthless, then the law of attraction will take away all the bad things in my life that make me feel worthless.
Like the people who hate in my comments, when I make a video and I say, this is exactly how you get confidence. Coming from a guy who at one point I didn't have confidence. Because some guys will look at me and be like, damn, that's a confident motherfucker. Yeah, I wasn't always like this. So some people think he must have always been that way. He's just lucky. He's just lucky that he was born that way. No, I actually had to work for it. And that's why when I make a video and I say, this is exactly how you will be confident in talking to women. Some guys will sit there in the comments and be like, no, that's not how you get confidence. Why would you walk out into the world and get rejected 1,000 times? Like, what's even the point? Haters are just someone who quit. They are saying that because they quit. Anytime someone comments some shit like that, I know 100% they quit. Because if they never quit, they would have gotten exactly what they wanted. But somewhere along the way, they came to terms. They sat there, they rationalized why it would be a good idea to quit. In order to be successful at anything, you have to be a little bit irrational. You have to have a little bit of an irrational mindset to think, nothing's going my way, it's still not working, I'm not seeing results, but I'm not going to quit. I'm going to continue. There must be something that I need to do differently because I haven't gotten what I wanted yet. The job's not finished. So I must continue. So somewhere along the way, that person came to terms. They had a rationalization of telling themselves, well, you know, I've approached 10 women. They've all rejected me. I think it's just time to quit. And guess what? That's what happens. When you quit, you don't get what you want. So I don't know how to stress this enough, but you cannot fucking quit.
If I feel worthy of sex and love, then the law of attraction will provide me with sex and love. Today I went on a long walk to my father's house. As I walked, I tried to love and appreciate everything around me. I reflected back on all the things that have happened to me in the past and realized that perhaps they were all the product of negative thinking. I must start thinking positively. I must love myself instead of hate myself. I did all the mental exercises that this great book, The Secret, has taught me, and I'm already feeling better about myself. I haven't finished the book yet, but I'm reading it aloud and taking in every word. When I got to my father's house, I took the dog, Lucky, with me as I walked up the hill in our neighborhood. I've walked this route many times in my past, and in all those times I was feeling downtrodden, rejected, and sad. This was the first time I've walked up this hill while feeling positive and hopeful. January 22nd, 2011. My karate class yesterday was productive. I'm still a beginner, but yesterday I noticed that I'm starting to really get the hang of it. It's an interesting fighting style to learn. A few weeks ago when I went to my first karate class, I figured I would just try it out to see what it's like and then stop. Now I think I'm going to keep learning it. The ability to fight better is power, and a major confidence boost. I've observed the sheer amount of confidence and courage that my friend James has developed after taking the same class for a year. It is incredible. When we were sitting in a fast food restaurant in the Palisades the other day, I asked him if he believed he could single-handedly take on those 3 high school jocks sitting at another table. He actually believed, without a doubt, that he could beat all 3 at the same time. Now that is the kind of confidence I hope to attain from taking karate. January 23rd, 2011. The book, The Secret, has truly enlightened me. It has taught me to believe that I can have all that I want, and by doing so I will receive everything I want, fulfill all my desires. This is it, the great turning point. This is the time to change my life for the better. I deserve to have all my desires fulfilled. I will have all my desires fulfilled. I will have everything I want. Sex, love, wealth, worth, everything I've ever dreamed of having will now be my life, because I believe I can have it. The universe will deliver it to me. I know it, and that's what will make me get it. January 24th, 2011. I'm at my college right now in between classes. I'm noticing improvement in regards to how I mentally deal with situations at my college. After reading The Secret, I now know that I will receive everything I desire by focusing all my thoughts on it. I'm no longer going to bother myself by envying other people around me. I'm soon going to have a better life than any of those fools. I'll attract more to me by using the law of attraction, more than any of them have ever had. 100 million times more. I will have more wealth than them.
And you want to know why he was on the right track? Is because this right here is getting to know yourself. Writing down on a journal all of your thoughts, all of your obstacles, everything you're going through. And then a year later, you look back and you see what you were going through, how you handled it, what you were thinking in the moment. Guess what? You start to know yourself more. So if you want to get better with women, if you want to have more success in business or in anything or being more social, you have to get to know yourself. And you don't get to know yourself if you don't document, if you don't reflect, if you don't self-reflect on everything that you've gone through in order to become the person that you are today. So that's how you get to know yourself. Guess what? I've made close to 1,000 videos on YouTube documenting my mind, documenting how I handled things along the way. Every single one of my videos is pretty much me talking to myself. Damn near. It's pretty much me talking to a camera about how I think in the moment, how I handle certain situations. And it's a documentation of myself. So I've gotten to know myself not only through YouTube, but also through journaling and getting to know who I am through self-reflection. So most of you guys who aren't seeing results in life, it's because you don't know yourself. Start to document the moments where you do feel low, when you do feel high, when you feel okay, when you get success, when you fail. And then you will start to understand your mind better and how you work. And that's when you'll start to see results.
I will have a more pleasurable sex life than them. I will have everything I desire and more by using the law of attraction. I know about the law of attraction and other people my age don't. I have utter faith in the law of attraction now. I believe in it with all my heart. I know it is true. It explains everything. Why there are rich people and poor people, why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's all from the power of thought. Rich people think and know they are rich, therefore they attract being rich and can only get richer. The poor people who think of themselves as poor and believe they are doomed to be miserable for the rest of their lives will only attract that miserable life. It could be the explanation for why my life has been horrible and why so many people have had better lives than me. It's because I've always thought negatively. I've always thought of myself as miserable and doomed to misery. I've always thought of myself as a loser and of others as winners. My thoughts have manifested into reality, haven't they? That has to be the explanation. That has to be the reason why I've suffered in bitter loneliness while other teenagers have had a good time. I've unwittingly been using the law of attraction in a negative way, while other teenagers have been unwittingly using the law of attraction in a positive way. Oh, what a fool I have been. Now is the time to change.
January 25th, 2011.
It's been 5 days.
I'm going to skip. It's 27 minutes in. I'm going to skip to like towards the end to kind of see what happened towards the end that led him to do what he did, right? Because this video is about to be an hour long and I want to see what happens. We don't have to sit here and watch 2 whole hours. We kind of get the gist of what's going on in his mindset. And I want to see what happened towards the end.
They are. I will be a god.
Okay, so this is where he finally has a breakdown and he starts planning everything out.
And misery forever. Knowing this, the only thing I can do now is strike back. Revenge is all I have to live for. Hate everyone who has insulted and rejected me, because I will be rising above them all. I can look down upon them from above. Now living in a new apartment unit. After my lease on the old apartment ended, I transferred. What do I do now? I've been asking myself that all day long. Am I doomed to stop? Want? As I sit here in my hotel room in England, the country of my birth, I think about everything that has transpired in my life to lead me up to this point. What is in store for me in the future? Is there any hope now? What can I do? How can I escape this dark path? Money is the only way I can be attractive to girls. Without that, there is nothing to live for. And when I say money, I mean millions. The only way I can get a hot girl to go on a date with me is if I drive a supercar and live in a mansion. Those stuck-up bitches won't even notice me otherwise. December 28th, 2012. I am spending this entire vacation sitting in my hotel room or at my grandma's house, brooding. I refuse to go out with my family. There's no point to it. On the last trip, I did go out with them, and I saw lots of couples, especially when we toured around London. It saddened me that I didn't have a girlfriend to experience it with me. Oh, how lovely it would be to have a girlfriend to take on such a vacation. To share this amazing hotel room with me, to walk around London with me and go sightseeing, to introduce her to my grandmas and make them proud, to make love to her on this opulent hotel bed. If only. That's how it should be. But no, girls hate me. They aren't attracted to me. No girl wants to be my girlfriend. And so here I sit, alone and unwanted, thinking about how my life should have turned out. This ticket will be the one. I needed this. I just couldn't go on anymore without hope. To be wealthy is the only way I can live a satisfying life, and I must become wealthy. Now. February 7th, 2013. I keep fantasizing about being wealthy, the kinds of things I will do, the pleasures I will have. I picture a whole life for myself. Once I am 13, I am still here. I am still languishing in this bleak little room of mine in the town of Isla Vista with nothing to live for. I am still an unwanted virgin who is deemed as worthless by the female gender. I am still in the same damnable place. I drove to Arizona 2 more times last month to buy Powerball tickets. That makes a total of 4 desperate trips to Arizona in an attempt to become a millionaire. That is insane. But I had to. Drastic circumstances require drastic measures. Becoming a millionaire is my only way out of this lonely life of celibacy, and winning the lottery is the only way I can become a millionaire at my age. It was my only hope, and that hope has once again been shattered to pieces. I should have only had to make one trip, and that trip should have been the one where I bought the winning ticket. But the ticket didn't win. I kept losing and losing, so I kept going back. I have been losing everything all my life. Winning this would have made up for it. It would have made up for everything. But I didn't win. The Powerball lottery is coming to California soon, so I no longer have to drive to Arizona for it. But does that even matter anymore? I'm never going to win, am I? For the last year, I have tricked myself countless times into believing I would win, just so I could have a sense of hope, a sense of knowing that there is a possible way out of my misery in the future. Enough is enough. I can't waste any more time and energy. There is no way out. It is a painful and torturous fact that I must accept. Humanity has condemned me to suffer this loneliness and misery forever. Knowing this, the only thing I can do now is strike back. Revenge is all I have to live for. April 11th, 2013. It is so unfair that I have to suffer this virginity every single day while other guys my age get to have sex with girls. For so long, I've believed that I have to be a millionaire in order to attract the girls I desire, and it's true, obviously, because no girls are going for me right now. But why?
No, you don't have to be a fucking millionaire. You just have to stop being a weirdo. Have to learn how to make women comfortable around you. Learn human psychology. Learn how to make a woman comfortable, and you will no longer be a virgin.
Why must it be this way? Why can't girls see the worth in me as a person? I deeply envy and hate all of those guys who are able to attract girls with ease without having to buy them. They should all be punished for being able to live such pleasurable lives while I suffer. But do you know who deserves to be punished even more? The girls themselves. It's all girls' fault. They choose to be with those other boys instead of me. I am a magnificent gentleman, and I deserve their love, but they deny it to me. That is a crime, and it must be punished. I am a virgin because girls deny me sex. They treat me like scum. They think I'm not good enough. How dare they? I will punish them. Okay, so a little author's note here. This page and the next 3 pages have a piece torn out of them. I don't know why, but I was able to do a text reconstruction for all of them by comparing the parts of the cut-off letters to the rest of Elliot Rodgers' handwriting, and making educated guesses about missing words based on context. I don't know if my guesses are right, but I think I've made a plausible reconstruction of at least the gist of what Elliot Rodgers was trying to say. Anyway, let's continue. April 12th, 2013. Every single couple I see fills me with rage. I cannot go out without seeing a young couple walking arm in arm together. I hate all women for denying me such an experience. No girl wants to be my girlfriend. I can't go on living this way. This is no way to live. I realized this long ago. I tried to find solace by hoping I could become wealthy enough to attract girls, but now it seems as if that's impossible. I will not spend my life suffering as a lonely virgin while other men get to enjoy the pleasures of sex and love. No, no, no. I have been insulted and rejected so many times, and I have had enough. If I have nothing to live for in the future, then all I have is the prospect of getting revenge. I will make humanity suffer the pain and agony that everyone has caused me in my life. I will make all of them suffer for denying me sex and love. I will have my vengeance, even if I have to die in the attempt. I would rather die than live a lonely life anyway. April 22nd, 2013. Yesterday I met up with Philip and Addison. I haven't seen them for over a year. It was nice to catch up with them, and to actually do something social for a change. The loneliness I experience in Santa Barbara is so stifling, which is why I've been visiting home a lot lately. I went to Philip's house to meet them. Going to that place always brings back memories of my childhood. Philip has been my friend since elementary school, and I played at his house a lot as a kid. When I entered his home, I took a moment to walk around and reminisce. I said hello to Philip's mother, Kathy, who complimented my looks, saying that I looked handsome. This made me feel a bit better about myself, but that good feeling evaporated when we went to Santa Monica later in the night, and I had to see all of the couples walking around. The 3 of us set out in my car. I took my father's SUV, which I have been using a lot lately, and we went to Santa Monica to have dinner at a restaurant called the BOA Steakhouse. When we drove through Santa Monica, I became increasingly enraged at all of the hot young couples I saw walking in the streets, though I tried to hide my rage from Philip and Addison. It was too much. Those couples are a reminder of how insignificant my life is. Those men were living the life, walking the streets of Santa Monica with their hot blonde girlfriends. I wanted to kill them, and I would if I could. I wanted to run them over with the SUV. That would be so sweet to get revenge in such a fashion. Perhaps I will one day. It may come to that. They deserve it. They all deserve to die a horrible, painful death, especially the girls. How dare those girls choose those obnoxious guys instead of me? How dare they? One day I will punish them for their crimes. Every single day I ponder over the question, why do women hate me so much? All my life I have only ever been nice and polite to them. I deserve their love, their adoration, their sex, and yet they deny it to me. They adore the obnoxious jocks, and they treat me like I'm an invisible little mouse. They starve me of sex. They starve me of a joyful life. They literally denied me my youth. I'm starved me of sex and love all my life, while they tantalize me every day by walking around in their skimpy, revealing clothing. But it's the only option for me now. I'm not going to just sit by and suffer this bleak loneliness while other males get to enjoy all the beautiful women, just because beautiful women consider me unworthy of it. I am worthy. How dare they consider me otherwise? I am powerful. I will destroy them all, and in doing, I will show them my true worth. June 3rd, 2013. For a very long time, I have fantasized about exacting revenge on women and all of my enemies in the most devastating way possible. I have envisioned scenarios of how sweet and just it would be to kill every single young couple at my college or in Isla Vista. I knew that I would have to plan something like this if I no longer have any hope for a happy life, if society continues to treat me like scum, if women continue to reject me. I would have no choice but to exact revenge. I gave everyone chance after chance to redeem themselves in my eyes, but the world has only continued to be cruel to me. If I can't join them, I will rise above them, and if I can't rise above them, then I will destroy them. My hope that I could join them was shattered after I experienced all of that rejection and ostracization during my first year in Santa Barbara, and my hope that I could rise above them was shattered after I realized there was no way I could become wealthy at a young age. The only thing I can do now is destroy them. It's all I have to live for now. I will destroy them all. The day that I commit this glorious act will be called the Day of Retribution. I came up with this name a couple of years ago when I first started fantasizing about it. On this Day of Retribution, I will exact my perfect and beautiful revenge on all of my enemies. On all of the popular kids for looking down on me and never accepting me, on all of the obnoxious, undeserving men who get to enjoy pleasurable sex lives with girls, and especially on all of the girls themselves for rejecting me, starving me of love and sex, and denying me a pleasurable youth. All of the suffering they have caused me, I will return to them 1,000-fold. June 5th, 2013. I have already purchased my weapons. Back in December of last year, it fully dawned on me that the possibility of having to carry out the Day of Retribution was very real, so I bought my first handgun, a Glock 34 9mm semi-automatic pistol. In March, I bought my second handgun, a more efficient one called the Sig Sauer P226. Both of them were very expensive, and the magazine clips will be even more expensive since I'll have to buy a lot of them. Thankfully, I had been saving up money over the years just in case something drastic like this would have to happen. I didn't write about this before because I was scared someone might find and read my diary. Since the Day of Retribution may be happening soon, perhaps even this year, I figure I'll write it down now. I am now armed, and it makes me feel powerful. I am meant to be powerful. I will slaughter all of my enemies like the animals they are. I will be a god compared to them. It will be beautiful, glorious.
Well, guys, there you have it. That man went out and did some terrible things. Why? Because he felt as though, he felt as though the world was against him. He quit. That's the reality of it. He quit. Doesn't matter how long he tried. He didn't try good enough, because there's no way that in this world, if you try and you figure out what the real root of the issue is and you work on that, you don't see results. This is not a result of the world just hating you and you're just doomed. No, there's something wrong. And if you don't have the gumption to get the fuck up and figure out what the problem is, then you're never going to change. And it's not the world's fault, it's yours. So my message to end this video is never quit. Always, always, always see temporary failure just as that, as temporary failure. A lesson to learn something from it for you to do better. If you're playing a video game and you're on level 1, you don't get to level 2. It doesn't mean that you can't get to level 2. It just means that you're doing something wrong in level 1. And until you figure that out, until you start doing what you need to do to get to level 2, you're never going to get there. Is it impossible? No, because other people have done it, right? So that means that you don't know something. You're not applying something that you are yet to learn in order to get to where you want to be. Okay, guys, like the video, comment down below. And if you're one of these guys who feels this way and you truly do feel angry at the world, you're truly not seeing the success that you want, you feel like you have nobody in your life to give you some guidance, send me a message on Instagram at OptimalManCoaching. I'll be here today, tomorrow, the next day, and every single day. So drop a like, guys, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'm out of here. Peace out.